It's Madden NFL 22, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Giants and the Bears, and it's coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerged from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we, as the Bears get set to match up with the New York Giants. Brandon Gaudin alongside my broadcast partner Charles Davis. And CD, our quarterbacks taking center stage here for each of their respective offenses. Daniel Jones of the Giants, Justin Fields of the Bears.
And both of them have terrific ability to improvise. And that means when the first read's not there, how quickly can you go through your progressions? Can you hang in there and take a shot as you release it? Can you buy time outside of the pocket? Can you pull it down and run if need be? I think we'll see all of those traits on display in this one.
The kicker, Graham Gano, set to put his foot into this one. And off we go from Soldier Field. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. The Bears offense ready to go to work here for the first time, leading them out, the 11th overall pick of the 2021 draft, Justin Fields out of Ohio State.
And just a few years after the Bears made a big move at quarterback, taking Mitchell Trubisky, they did it again this year, moving from number 20 to number 11 in the draft to select Justin Fields out of Ohio State. This offense was just 26 in total yardage last year, so they needed some production. Justin Fields, 63 touchdown passes his last 2 years at Ohio State. They're expecting him to be their guy for the future.
They will run for the first time with David Montgomery. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Second and 8 coming up. Here's Fields. Going deep for Montgomery. It got his man complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big play that time through the air. 36 yards.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Montgomery. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
5 in the secondary now for the Giants here on third. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. So pin that one on the rookie right tackle.
Remember those days when the right side was simply the run-blocking side? Now you're dealing with some of the better pass rushers in the league. It'll make you a little jittery.
And a manageable third down becomes a lot less manageable. 3rd and 7 after the false start. Fields. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. So, Charles, first drive here, a little safe completion underneath. Maybe get some rhythm, get your feet wet, so to speak.
I agree, and I like it because it's a lot like a basketball game when you're getting started and you pass the ball around so everyone touches it early and gets involved in the game. In this case, it's not just dumping it to a back and he's able to run with the ball, but you get your offensive linemen involved because they get to get out and run and hit people in the open field. Everyone getting their feet wet early.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Fields now to throw. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And this one is incomplete.
That sun's going to be a factor all game long. I'm not sure it made a difference on that one, but it's something to think about on all deep throws during this time of year.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Now Fields. He'll get this underneath to Montgomery. And he's going to be taken down short of the first, right around the 15-yard line. So 8 yards on the completion there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. Montgomery, they'll run for it. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. The Giants ready to go to work on offense, and leading them out, their 3rd-year quarterback from Duke, Daniel Jones.
We knew about the great mind coming out of Duke, and we saw the athletic ability and the potential. Watching it all come together and get better with each passing year, that's been fun. He can throw it deep, throw it short, and, of course, take off out of the pocket and beat you with his legs as well.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 15. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
And just a yard to go here on 2nd down. Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
Still 2nd down.
A bad false start penalty there. Now 2nd and 6. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. Barkley a 1st down and more. And he'll take this all the way up to the 38-yard line.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea Slow him down. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. Throwing Jones. Looking for Shepard deep. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
So many times we see teams go on the road and want to lean on their running game, but this crew just announced they're going to try and air it out and make hay downfield.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Jones. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
I think that's how this defense is going to need to play these tight ends. Again, get right up on them and stay physical. And that paid off on that play, helping force that incompletion.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun, Jones. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. And finally brought down right at the midfield stripe.
So they give up the completion there, but defensively, Charles, you're going up against a quarterback here who's had some moments, but really a lot of ups and downs in the early part of his career. What's the plan against a guy like this?
Well, you want to rattle him first and foremost. Bring some people at him, a couple extra guys in the pocket, see if he can handle it. The second thing, you want to make him think. Show him one look, go to another, disguise a few things, make him throw into what you call your defensive traps, and try and make some good plays on the ball and get a few takeaways.
And they can't bring him down. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
41 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries.
You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, Jones. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Back to throw, Jones. Flushed out right, and he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the 1st down marker. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Giant football, and we're ready to begin the 2nd quarter as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Looking to throw, Jones. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. It'll go in the books as a sack and a loss of a yard, but more importantly, it leads to 4th down.
On 4th down, on is Graham Gano for the Giants field goal.
It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And Gano's kick is right through. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it.
Let's go.
Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well.
Holding offense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block, it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
To throw is Fields.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Cole Kmet, the intended receiver.
And that'll bring up 2nd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Back to throw, Fields.
That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
A shotgun snap, Fields.
Escaping the pressure right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Decent gain on the scramble of 6, but now it's 4th.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a 1st down.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Back deep, the dangerous Pharaoh Cooper. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at about the 32.
He'll drop it off with Saquon Barkley.
And he'll work this one up to about the 38.
48 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Off play action. Jones.
And that one almost intercepted. But it's incomplete. He had space in front of him if he had held on, but instead it's third down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Operating from the gun, Jones. And oh, this is taken in one-handed. What a catch.
Really? Really? Did we just see that? That's a big catch. One-handed, I might add, to pick up a first down.
I was going to say on third down for the defense, it's one thing to give up a reception. You just got to shake your head on a one-handed catch to pick up the first. Jones on 1st and 10. Open man right side is Ingram. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. On 2nd down, here's Barkley, and he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he'll be stopped up as he can only muster a yard. So 4th down coming up on the other side as we have reached the 2-minute warning. Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now.
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
Now a 1st down throw, Fields. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
The hit comes late. We saw it. There's your flag.
And we know that there's a guideline, right? Ball's gone. You get 1 step. If you're within 1 step of the quarterback, you can hit him as long as it's still done legally. But anything outside of that, looks like an extra step was involved.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Here's Fields. He'll get this into the hands of Bird. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now it's Fields. That's caught by Montgomery. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
And some play callers, when they go into games, they don't mind calling a lot of screens, and they don't care what down. They were maybe 1 block away from really having something there to start this drive. Good job defensively to cut through the blockers and make the tackle on the screen, or that could have gone for maybe 15 or 20 yards.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Fields. He'll leave it for Montgomery, complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Back to throw. Fields. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Saquon Barkley and the Giants offense set to kick off their next drive. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Jones now throwing on 1st down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. And his throw is incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's a give to Barkley. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Here's Riley Dixon now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return, and the Bears take over.
Well, the Bears going to take over now late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. Let's go. 35 seconds, all that remains in the first half as they come up on 1st down.
Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike.
Throwing to start the drive. Fields. And he finds Montgomery complete. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Fields. His throw incomplete.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old school defense right now. The new school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Back to throw. Fields.
This one swung out to Montgomery.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive.
And you wonder if they'll just take this 3-0 lead to the locker room.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Tashawn Gibson there on the tackle. So we come upon halftime here with the visiting Giants out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, time for a check of the next-gen stats from that first half for the Giants. And they've had some success on the ground, and with the lead going into the second half, they'll no doubt be looking to keep it going. Meanwhile, for the Bears, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football, and they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. On the return, it's Pharaoh Cooper.
And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. The Giants about set to go to begin this third quarter.
Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game as they've got it 1st and 10.
Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now, hotly contested in the third quarter.
And now a pass dumped off to his running back, and able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game, 1st and 10 here.
He's going to let this one go deep. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. On the draw, this is Barkley, and he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for New York. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half.
And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he powers his way up past the 30. The tackle is made by Adoree Jackson.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
Let's go, baby.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw. Fields. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
A good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10.
To throw again. Fields. Deep ball for Goodwin. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, you got to think that sooner or later they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Fields. Caught by Montgomery. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. New York set to take the field. The last couple of drives have ended in punts. Maybe the crowd minds that, but you're a defensive guy. You're okay with a couple of punt drives.
Listen, I'm the guy that loves a 0-0 pitch game. All right, in baseball, I can handle that going into the 7th inning. I think the crowd, though, they want to see a little bit more excitement. Let's see if someone can break something free on offense and get going.
Offense at a premium the last 2 drives. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
2nd down, here's Barkley again. And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Here's Jones on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
The Bears in good field position to start out, 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
Glad you're with us from Soldier Field in Chicago. 3rd quarter here, 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Fields. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Fields. Over the middle, and he's got Goodwin complete. And he'll get this up near midfield, but that's still a few yards shy of the 1st down. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. New York ready to go again offensively. And, Charles, we've seen almost 3 full quarters now, and neither offense can really get it going. Neither has hit the end zone, and neither side seemingly can make that big play.
But the game hasn't been devoid of action because these two defenses, they've taken over and they've slugged it out. But I think you're exactly right. We're at that stage of the game now where one of these offenses, if they make a big play, that could be the difference.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Jones fakes the give to Barkley. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Here's 2nd and a yard. A handoff to Barkley. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. The Giants on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And Ingram hauls it in. And he will have a Giants 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll go to Barkley again. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. Now Jones to throw on 3rd down. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. And he'll take this to the 47, but no further, as they get him down well short of the line to gain. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for New York. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. The Chicago offense set to get started. I tell you what, it's kind of hard to imagine. They have not scored a single point, and yet they're in this position, a touchdown drive here, and they're in the lead.
Normally, when you have 0 on your side of the ledger on the scoreboard, you're a little bit discouraged. But when they look over and see their opponents, they don't see a number that's way out there. They don't see a number they can't attain. In fact, they can get it right here on this drive and potentially take the lead.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields.
Flush to his right.
And Fields going to have the first down before sliding to a halt to avoid the contact.
Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
On 1st down, Montgomery. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss.
Fields.
He finds his man, complete. That's Montgomery. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And that is incomplete.
Right now, the story of this game continuing to be the defenses because the offenses, they're finding it difficult to establish any rhythm whatsoever.
I like how you come to us in praise of defense, Brandon, because that's exactly right. That was an incompletion force there, but we've seen it throughout this game. Both of these defense coordinators, they're a step ahead of their offensive counterparts.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. A 40-yard punt, no return, and it'll be Giant football 1st and 10.
New York's offense back out there and set to go. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll try and run some clock here with Barkley. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
69 yards on the ground for him so far.
Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line.
On 2nd down, here's the option.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Eight yards to go on 2nd down.
Again, it's Barkley. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. Back to throw. Jones finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This from 54 yards away. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Maybe an important 4th quarter miss as this stays a 3-point game.
Yeah, now overtime is very much in the equation here. Just what you mentioned, a 3-point game. They get a drive, put it through the posts. We could have some free football, couldn't we?
So now Fields and the Bears down 3-0. A minute 37 remaining. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. Back to throw. And incomplete.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. He's back to throw. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a 1st down. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
They snap it to Fields.
He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Giants are going to take over in great field position.
Another drive coming up for New York's offense. And with the defense out of timeouts, powerless to stop the clock, this should just be a couple of kneel downs.
And the Giants will kneel it here out of the victory formation. Down to a knee goes Jones, and that should just about seal it.
Brandon, I can just tell you from experience, there's nothing like pitching a shutout on defense, but even more so when it's a tight game. I mean, when every defensive play is crucial and you don't give up any points, boy, they're going to feel awfully good about themselves after this one.
Yeah, exactly. The offense wasn't humming, but, hey, all they needed was you can't score 1 point. All they needed was 2 points. Well, you can't score 2 points on offense. All they needed was at least 3, and they got what they needed.
They got what they needed. Exactly right.
So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And not all W's are created equal, CD, and this one came in shutout fashion.
Well, their offense certainly didn't need to do anything, right? They could take the day off, and they